So today's going to be a fun one because I am reviewing a brand that I've been kind of putting off for a long time because every time I looked through their ingredient list, there was always fragrance, but I've kind of gotten more lax on fragrance though, so I've kind of opened myself more to trying more products, and that means I'm going to have a lot more different kinds of products to review for you guys. So now I'm reviewing Sioris. And today I actually have 5 products from them, 2 of them being their latest launches. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first I'm going to be starting out with is the Time is Running Out mist, which has been everywhere. I've seen it. It's been out for a long time. I think maybe like a year, maybe over that. But like I said, fragrance, didn't even pay any mind to it. So yes, that's the first product I have. I'm going to have the ingredients laid out somewhere on the screen, probably here where I'm pointing. And I'm actually just going to go through them real quick. So the first, and it's common in most of their products, is the Citrus Junos Fruit Water, which they like to say that it's added to impart, the anti-aging benefits of something like vitamin C, I'm assuming, but like an extract in water isn't very potent, and then already things like vitamin C aren't very stable at all. So it's kind of saying that you're adding citrus water to your product to impart anti-aging benefits is kind of pointless. So let's move on. The next is water. Diesel glucoside, which is actually a surfactant. I believe in this case, because it's in a mist, I'm going to assume that in this case it's used as more of like a really weak emulsifier, so that when you shake it, it doesn't automatically separate from the oil in the water part, because this is a mist with kind of a heavy amount of oil. And then it also has glycerin, which is a common humectant. It's in almost every skincare product. Aloe leaf juice, which is one of my favorite ingredients because aloe extract is like nothing. Like if you usually see extract, it means it's kind of a weak extract. You're gonna have more of the benefits with something like aloe leaf powder or juice because they're more concentrated. Then we have laurel glucoside, which is another weak surfactant. Pentylene glycol, which is it's like another humectant, it's a solvent. Xanthan gum, which is a thickener. Sodium chloride, which also helps depending on what the other ingredients are. It can help with thickening as well. And then there's just a few like texture enhancers, conditioners. That's going to be in the way of polyglycerol 6 caprylate, polyglycerol 4 caprate, glycerol caprylate, sodium levulinate, I'm assuming. That's actually just part of a preservative system. Citric acid, that's used to lower the pH of some products. Usually they're added to put the pH at around a little bit under 6, because that's usually what our skin likes to sit at. Gardenia, jasmine notes, fruit extract, that's fragrance, and then maltodextrin. So do I like this product or not? I actually do. My boyfriend says it's probably the favorite mist he's ever tried. What's cool about it is that it does have kind of an abnormal amount of oil content in it. So the way I like to use it is actually as a finishing spray. So usually I use sprays right after I cleanse just to dampen my skin, but because of the high oil content in this, I like to use it at the end to lock everything in. It does have a noticeable scent. It's a citrus scent, which you could obviously assume, but it dissipates very quickly. And as someone with dry skin, I actually like this a lot because one thing about a lot of hydrating, humectant-rich mists is that if you spray your face with mist and there's nothing occlusive in there to kind of help lock it in, it can just evaporate right off your face, in which part it might actually pull water content from your skin, depending on the atmospheric water content, and then allow that to evaporate with it. So what you want to look for, and you actually kind of see it in a lot of K-beauty type mists, is either something like a light silicone, a light oil, even a heavy oil. This is kind of a heavy oil, but for me, someone with dry skin, I love this, and it's actually one of the favorite mists I've ever used as well. So the next product is the Cleanse Me Softly, their type of cream cleanser. It's actually one of the products I wasn't very fond of, despite the fact that I have dry skin. But let me go ahead and look at the ingredients. Like I said, Citrus Junos Fruit Water is the first ingredient, as common with a lot of their products. And then it has macadamia seed oil, which usually in a cleanser you see that kind of towards the bottom. So that's interesting. And then water, glycerin, laurel glucoside. Here the glucosides are going to serve as surfactants to help cleanse the skin. And this just goes how like the same ingredient, depending on which product it's formulated for, can serve different purposes. Isoamyl laurate, polyglycerol 10 oleate, cetearyl alcohol, vegetable oil, sorbitan isosterate, cetearyl olivate. The olivates, they're derived from olive oil. They're often used as like skin conditioning ingredients, and they help with texture of the product, not your skin. Aloe leaf extract, which is fine. Bioflavonoids, those are mainly like antioxidants. Broccoli extract. Propanediol, that's another solvent, humectant, and skin calmer. Allantoin, that's usually specifically used to calm the skin, but it's also keratolytic, so that means it helps with skin turnover, regular skin turnover. Tocopherol, vitamin E, that's an antioxidant, helps stabilize the formula. Sorbitan olivate, like I said, that's usually used in conjunction with cetearyl olivate as like a system to help give body to the formula and help condition the skin. Glycerol stearate citrate, that's another product texture thing, xanthan gum, thickener. Arginine, that's an amino acid. And then it has something called P-acinic acid that's used as part of the preservative system. Scutellaria, bicolensis root extract. A lot of these I'm reading for the first time, so bear with me. But from what I looked up, it's just, it's called skullcap. You actually see it in a lot of K-beauty, a lot of Eastern Asian medicine. Most extracts like this are going to serve as like an antibacterial, antimicrobial agent, and then they also have their antioxidant properties. And then it has licorice root extract, which you see a lot as well. It's a good skin brightener. As for how the product is used, it's quite literally like any cream cleanser you've ever tried before. I assume it's like the Laneige cream cleanser. If you've ever tried any of those like non-foaming cleansers, you've tried this basically, because there's nothing really special about it. You put it on dry skin, rub it around, and then when you rinse it off, it emulsifies into a milk, which then rinses off clean. Like I said, nothing really stood out to me about this. It has fragrance in it, but upon use, I didn't actually sense any of it. So that was kind of nice. And yeah, for dry skin, this would probably be your main go-to if you're not wearing anything like heavy makeup, heavy mineral sunscreens. This will probably be fine. But like I said, if you've used a non-foaming cleanser before, this is basically the same, nothing special. And if you've already found a favorite, I don't see a need to try this out, to be honest. Okay, this one I was meaning to try for a long time because like I said, I'm not actually opposed to physical exfoliation, but it needs to be gentle and effective, obviously. So next is the My Soft Grain Scrub, and basically the first ingredients are Avena sativa kernel flour, which is oat flour, Oryza sativa rice powder, Oryza sativa rice whole powder, and then it has a few different like antioxidant plant powders, coconut fruit extract, propanediol, and pentylene glycol. In theory, this was perfect for me because you just mix it with any of your favorite cleansers. Ideally a cream cleanser, they like to often pair it with their own, but upon application, a lot of the powder just kind of congeals together to form like big lumps of the product, so it doesn't effectively exfoliate. What makes it exfoliate well is the fact that it's so small. It provides the scrubbing action, the soft scrubbing action, but when it all kind of goes together, you're basically rubbing a ball of oatmeal on your face and it doesn't get the job done. In this scenario, you're literally just rubbing oatmeal on your face and it doesn't feel like it does anything to me. It conditions the skin because oatmeal, you know, it has natural conditioning agents in it, but it feels like it puts more of a conditioning film on your face more so than it exfoliates, which is kind of the opposite of what you want in this scenario. So I do not recommend that. At least it seems we're going to end on a happy note because the next two products are actually my favorite from the line, and actually their two latest releases. So we're going to start with the My First Essener, which is a weird name. First is Camellia sinensis leaf extract, which is just green tea extract. Has some antioxidant properties, but like I said, in an extract, it's not going to be very potent. Water, glycerin, humectant, pentylene glycol, butylene glycol. Those are going to be humectants, solvents as well, penetration enhancers as well. Rosa de Mesquina flower water, which is just rose water, mainly just fragrance to be honest. Polyglutamic acid is an ingredient I am excited for because I'm over hyaluronic acid. They put hyaluronic acid in everything and they make it seem like such like a strong active, but it's just a regular humectant. And you know, polyglutamic acid has been on the market for like a while and it's 4 times as effective. And to be honest, every product I've used with polyglutamic acid has actually shown better results for me than hyaluronic acid. My skin usually feels plumper and more hydrated. Then this also has artemisia in it, which is a very popular ingredient. I kind of don't care about it. I have some of those like 100% artemisia extract. I have the one from I'm From their toner. Does nothing, to me at least. But you know, if you like it, do you. They also still do incorporate sodium hyaluronate and hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, which are very low molecular weight hyaluronic acid. So they're going to be able to penetrate into the skin better. Then they have regular molecular weight hyaluronic acid. One thing about this product that a lot of people are obsessed with is the texture, and that's because it is a very thick texture for something that comes in this type of packaging that's usually sold as like a toner. And they even said on their own Instagram that it's because of the sclerotium gum. I guess they wanted to let people know about like how they got this unique texture. That's such a selling point for this product. And then they have citric acid, which lowers the pH of the product. So yeah, as I stated, the polyglutamic acid is a welcome addition into this. I loved the texture. It's probably the first toner that I actually felt plumping with, which is something usually when they're like, it plumps your skin with this and that, I'm like, okay, whatever, it's just gonna hydrate my skin. This feels plumping, and I feel like it's partly because of the texture of it and then the different types of humectants. They have low molecular weight hyaluronic acid, medium molecular weight hyaluronic acid, and then the polyglutamic acid. It's supposed to have a rose scent because of the rose water in it, but it smells like it's almost like a fake cherry smell. It smells kind of like penicillin. If you were a kid, remember like the pink thing they used to have, your parents would drop in your mouth when you got sick? It smells like that, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. But yeah, altogether, I like the packaging, I like the actual product. The scent isn't intrusive in any way. I don't dislike the scent, but it would be fine if it wasn't there for me. So I would actually very much recommend this product. Okay, and this one, y'all. I think this might actually be their newest launch, and it's my favorite out of the whole line. It's the Enriched by Nature cream. Let's just start with the ingredient list. It is, first is green tea water, then regular water, glycerin. Caprylate triglyceride is a derivative of coconut, and it is usually there as like a moisturizer skin conditioning agent. It has a shit ton of shea butter in it, and you can feel it in this texture. Pentylene glycol, which is a humectant solvent penetration enhancer. Glycerol stearate, that helps with the texture of the product. Cetyl olivate, rose water, beeswax. Beeswax really thickens up some formulas, and you can feel it. Cetyl oxorbitant olivate, oregano alcohol, that's a fatty alcohol, so don't worry about that. Sphingosines are actually precursors to ceramide, so having them both in the same product means that it's going to really help reinforce the skin barrier. Great for people with dry skin. Peaceable, that's a chamomile extract, and it's actually kind of like a light oil. It's not an essential oil, but it's like a fatty substance. It has green tea seed oil too. That's going to have a lot of antioxidants. Jojoba oil. Rosewood oil, that's just fragrance. Rose flower oil, fragrance. Rose flower wax, which I'm not used to seeing. Cetyl alcohol, texture, behenyl alcohol, fatty alcohol. Hydrogenated lecithin, that's a thickener. Ericidal glucoside, that is an emulsifier. Another glucose, which is a sugar, which is a humectant. And then citric acid to lower the pH of the formula. And then it has linalool, which is just a pure fragrance molecule. Okay. The fragrance is strong, and it smells like grandma. I've never minded that scent. I've seen a lot of people online say they don't like that scent, so if you don't like it, I just don't recommend this, but the texture is so nice. And I've been looking for a dry skin moisturizer. There is not many that actually like leave my skin feeling moisturized, because a lot of the time they want to make a rich cream, but they don't want to make it feel like suffocating, but I'm like, I want it. I want to be suffocated. I don't want to be suffocated, but I want my skin to feel like there is something on it protecting it. And a lot of the times they try to make it like this rich cream matte texture that I hate. This one doesn't do that. It It manages to be rich and coat the skin, but not feel greasy, but not so much to the fact to where it feels matte on the skin. It's just they just hit it right. They just hit it, and it just glides on the skin nice. And the other thing about it is because it's such a potent, it's so full of like waxes and oils and stuff. You don't need a lot. In fact, you can probably literally use a pea-sized amount, and you'll feel like fine for eat. I wear it during the day and the night. I kind of pile it on at night, but during the day, if you have dry skin, I find that it's very wearable because, like I said, it's not a matte finish, but it's like a satin finish, I guess you would say. That's usually in between matte and oily, right? But oily skin, I don't recommend it. Maybe for nighttime, but I remember when my skin was oily before I went on Accutane. I remember that distinct feeling, and I know I would hate this, so I don't recommend this for oily skin. For combo and dry skin, you're gonna love this unless you hate the smell of rose. But yeah, probably the one product I recommend the most is the Enriched by Nature cream, then the Essener, then probably the Time is Running Out mist, then the Cleanse Me Softly cleanser, and then the My Soft Grain scrub. And that's from most to least recommended. So yeah, that's gonna be my Sioris review. If you tried some of these products, but if you liked them, you didn't like them, feel free to leave me a comment below. I hope that I gave you some new information, that you learned something, that I helped you make a better buying decision. If you like this video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I have a few more coming up. I have an updated Cosrx review coming up. It's my most popular video on this channel, my original Cosrx video. So I think you're gonna like it. My first sponsored video, actually. I've been sent product for this channel. I've never been paid to review a product for this channel, so I feel like it's kind of a step up. We're moving up. So thank you for the support, guys, because obviously without a following, people who watch me, people who engage with me, those opportunities wouldn't be here. So thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.